Let's record this. Yeah. So, like what you said, man, passive income. Um, I'm gonna just speak right here. Us African American folks, we're a little afraid. We're afraid of anything that is not coming directly from a 9 to 5. You know, it's almost like the two extremes, right? So those of us that don't work, we don't have a problem, committing crimes. I did it as a youth. We go out, we want money, but it's either I'm gonna go out and sell drugs or do something illegal to make money, or I'm gonna get a job working 9 to 5. It's like, it's interesting. But what about these other opportunities like business investment opportunities? What about the stock market? Now, one of the reasons we already know why our people, Black people in particular, don't go after this type of wealth or income is because it's intimidating, or we didn't learn this growing up in school. Think about it. We wasn't taught how to work in the stock exchange. That was so far removed from our pursuit of knowledge that it's like, and then the folks that raised us, our people, unfortunately, wasn't taught these things either. So when today, as full grown adults, when somebody come to us and say, hey, invest in the stock market, get involved, open up a E-Trade account or a TD Ameritrade or Acorn or Stash or any of that stuff, we get intimidated by that. We're afraid. We don't want to. It's like gambling almost. It's like, and even with gambling, think about that. We'll go to Las Vegas and we'll put money and change in a machine and pull the slot machine down. But somebody will come to you with an opportunity and say, look, man, take this $100, take this $200 and invest it here. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to train you how to do it. And we afraid. We're afraid. What you think about that? That's interesting stuff, man.
It's. I always say we never were educated on it, and we knew how to do personal finance. We knew how to add our bills up, and we knew how to take care of our families. But when it comes to passive incomes, it's something that we can't see. And it's like they want to believe, but I can't see it. I hear about it and watch it on CNN. I see what's going on in the trade, but I can't believe in it because I've never been taught that kind of wealth. I've never been educated in that form. So to do that, I mean, now it's different. I can see certain things, I can feel certain things, but I'm like, and I'm still hesitant. So a lot of times, like my dad, he one thing he did invest in because he worked for the military was bonds. Every check he'd get, it'd be $35 taken out of his check for a $50 bond, and down the line it cashed in, but that's down the line. People right now in this immediate lifestyle, we want it now, we
want it right now. We can't wait.
We can't.
That's a good point, man. We don't want to wait for it, right? Because, investing takes patience. It requires discipline and it requires patience, but we need it, man. We need this stuff. We can't, as people in general, and not just African Americans, people in general that work 9 to 5s, we can't totally rely on a 401k. So when we retire, we have this 401k. We can't just totally rely on that, folks. We have to look at other ways to have multiple streams of revenue. Be encouraged, literally be encouraged, because there is a lot of opportunities out there to have multiple streams of income. And for whatever reason, we haven't decided right now, today, to do it. I'm telling you, do it today. I'm encouraging you, as Yusef Wiley, as Cortez Chandler talking to you today on this Monday, get out there and try it. Now, in most of this situation, Cortez, they have ways now where they train you. Most of these platforms, have like trainings and instruction on how to even use like the app. Like, for example, whether it's Acorn, Stash, if you just want to get started with something small, they actually teach you. You can go on YouTube and find everything now too, right?
Yeah.
Just go on YouTube and find out how to use Stash, find out how to use Acorn, right? And all of these different things. And just start there. And even if it's $5 here, $10 there, and you and just so people can understand that's never done this before. I'll give you an example. One stock can cost you anywhere upwards, like good stock like Apple stock, Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, those good stock that we know, companies that are not going anywhere. They may run you anywhere from 300 to, now some of them are as high as $3,400, $4,000 for Amazon stock. I don't know exactly what it is now, but obviously you're not going to buy a share of Amazon if you're just getting started. But with these new apps like Stash and Acorn, well, not necessarily Acorn, but like Stash or Robinhood, you can buy a portion. You can take your $5 here and there that you could spend on a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and take that $5-10 and trade on those platforms, and it works. I mean, you literally see the income, the trading of those small portions benefit from that. So I just tell folks, until they learn more and more about it, try small. Just start off small, and you'll be surprised what you come up with. So we're talking about passive income. The time is now to get and find different ways. Another is e-commerce. Like through Shopify, open up a Shopify account. These things can be intimidating. They can be like hard. If you're not really good on using a computer or getting on a laptop, then that may not necessarily be for you. But I suggest, if you have the time, if maybe you're out of work, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, and you have the time, learn how to use Shopify. Open up an account on Shopify, pay for the minimal account, $29 or something like that, and learn how to use that. And again, here's a platform that's pretty much teaching you everything. It's teaching you how to use Overlu and all of these different apps that you connect to Shopify, which allows you to ship products. This is drop shipping. You probably heard the term drop shipping. That's, I've got involved with it about a year ago, or during COVID, when COVID first hit, and it's paying off right now. It's actually paying off right now. So I'm telling you, these are things that I suggest you jump in there and take a shot at it. Take a shot at it. It's worth it. Multiple streams of income is absolutely necessary in our time. And if you're not doing it already, it's not too late. Please try it out.
So basically what you're telling our listeners, invest into yourself, take that chance to invest in yourself.
Man, look, you're not just investing in yourself, you're investing in your family, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot, you got mouths to feed. We used to always say that I got mouths to feed. Think about that, what was that, Total Recall back in the day? The old one, when the old boy kept saying, I got mouths to feed. He kept changing how many number of kids he had, right?
Yeah, he went from 3 to 7.
Right, he went from like 3 to 7. And honestly, we have things to do. We have things we want to achieve. We want to be homeowners. We want to be, we want to be able to take vacations.
Yeah.
We want to be able to, even if we're working a 9 to 5, in some instances, we want to be able to, at some point, retire young and tell our employer, hey, look, it was nice working for you, but I'm moving on to do something for myself. Nice knowing you. I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm going to start something here. So, I like helping people become independent. That's very important. but it requires a lot. It requires discipline. I always talk about discipline because that's one of the key things. If you don't have discipline, that's where we start. Now, let me teach you discipline. Let me show you how to become more disciplined. That's very important. And I wish we could start with our youth, start with our young people that's, still in school and middle school age to high school and then college, right? The discipline comes first with this business. If you go into any one of those things that I mentioned, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's the stock market, even the cryptocurrency, I'm not totally convinced on it, even though it's a good platform and I use it to a certain extent. I'm not all the way sold on it, but I do like the in theory, the unregulated, all of that good stuff. We already know people don't like to be monitored and regulated. So, I mean, the philosophy is there and it's great. There's people making money. I make money using cryptocurrency, but I'm not totally sold. I wouldn't invest in the same way I invest through normal stock trades, whether TD Ameritrade, Merrill Lynch or Merrill Edge. I said TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, those bigger places like that that are insured, and go for it right there. And I also tell folks if they don't want to open up because we talking about stocks, right? Buying stocks. If you're not good at it, if you don't think you'll be good at it, then I always suggest a managed portfolio. So most major banks, even smaller banks, you can go tell them, hey, I want to open up, I want to start trading and I want to open up not a self-directed account, but a managed portfolio. And now it's easier to get in. I think some banks allow you in with $1,000 deposit. It used to be like 5,000. I think maybe Charles Schwab was about that much. So if you don't want to be the one constantly handling that business of trying to figure out what stocks, I want to buy and all this stuff, mutual funds or what have you, then go for the managed portfolio. Go for it. And that should be get you at least where you have, again, not just a savings account. What is a savings account doing for you? Nothing, hardly nothing. If you're able to save money, then you should be able to trade. You should be able to invest in the stock market. So that's where it's at. That for me, and I'm just speaking from a basic level at it, and I'm doing it, and I have been doing it, and it's paying off well for me. And so I think it's important that we understand that and not be afraid. Not be afraid to go out there and try it.
I had that fear, especially when I first started doing it. But I look at I started with Cash App. You know how you can make investments on there.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Cash App.
So
Yep.
I did Cash App just to learn how to do it. So when I started looking at it and I've seen the trail and the time and the effort that they put into it, and it gives you a lot of data. So that's one thing I'm strong on that, trying to figure out what's going on. So I use Cash App just as a starting point. And so I don't know what would be the best thing for our listeners to go that way. Which way would you recommend for them? Because I know you talked about Stash and you talked about a few other apps.
Yeah, well, first of all, the first thing is to know, number one, where you want to start. Like as far as how much money are you willing to put to the side, whether it's once a week, once a month. And then you figure out, yeah, you know what, I'm willing to put up $50 or $100 a month on a stock app like that, like Robinhood. I would say Robinhood. Robinhood is a good place to start, or Stash, either one of those two, and set up your account with those. And if you're able to give up, like I said, $50, $100 a week or a month, or it could be $10 a week, then start there and see how your money grow. It's going to give you suggestions. It's going to show you top movers, meaning what's doing good out there on the exchange, what's looking good, and what to buy. And then it's good to do research on companies, like figure out more about the companies that you're investing in. Like, is it worth it? Like Walmart or Target, these companies that's been here, gonna be here, doing well, looking at how they're structured as companies and if they're growing. I know Tesla got into some issues recently, but for a little while now, it's been a good company to invest in, and people have gotten nice dividends as a result of that. And all companies don't necessarily pay a dividend, but you just have to look into that as well. It's just how you trade and sell, buy and sell. Looking at that aspect of the stock market. And just start there, at least. That's because that's basic. That's real basic.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. And I'm helping folks all the time with that. I told my family, when we was hanging out at my mom's and pop's house for my dad, I think it was right before my dad passed away, actually. We were all over there, and I was saying, I should do a family thing, just have all the family come by and I just teach them all how to use it. And a few of them down with it, but people had to feel good moments and they feeling good right now to talk about it and do it. But then, a few days go by, if you don't follow up, they lose interest and they don't want to do it. But it's really prevalent, especially amongst our people, amongst African Americans, where things like this are really, hard for them to really get into. Our people have been abused and misused and treated, marginalized so much. It just makes it hard for us to trust folks or to trust things or new ideas. And, we have an issue with trust. Trust is big with us. And if we don't trust something, we're not gonna do it. All right. We're not gonna do it.
So how do you feel about what you said, trades? What do you feel about stocks? Bonds, excuse me. Bonds. What do you feel about bonds? It's a slower pace, but it's a little better
slower
rate.
pace, and I haven't really got into that one myself that much. Mm-hmm. But what's been said about it, from what I know and what I understand, is that when you get closer to that retirement, like I had said before, and it's like, what, I'm ready to this is something that you're not going to touch for a while, and once you get older and you can go back and grab hold of those things, that's something that you want to consider, those bonds. And I would suggest whoever is assigned to you as an agent, like if you go through your bank or if you go through a financial institution that's helping you with your portfolio, to actually ask, about the bonds and how you can set aside some bonds specifically for retirement. Similar how you would use a IRA, and just start there. But definitely that's something that you want to look at for long term. Definitely long term.
So would you say if somebody was younger and they started bonds, getting bonds, like my dad, he started he was in the military.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He started, I think it was at that time, like I said, $35. I think he actually got $100 bond for $35. But I think it's 10 years and they get higher as you go in the years.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's something you definitely want to go into and you have plans long term for it, and just sitting on it. But it goes back to discipline again. A lot of people don't have discipline. And, what I say about that is it's all about setting yourself up for success. It's all about setting yourself up for success. So one of the strategies that I often share with folks, and I'm just scratching the surface right now because, you can't cover all this in a podcast. But what I would say is, start by, first of all, setting aside your bills. Have your bills set aside, have your monies that you pay your bills with. Look a little bit at your leisure, little money that you can put aside for leisure, put a little money aside that you're going to save. Now, the money that you plan to save, split that in half. When you first start, split that money in half that you're going to save and go towards the stocks, buying stocks right? Investing, right? Whether it's invested in the stock market, whether it's whatever kind of investing you're planning to do, set aside that. Eventually, you're going to realize, you're going to say, man, wait a minute, why am I just splitting my savings in half when all I'm doing is dipping? That savings account money just sitting there, and I'm looking at it, and I can go pull it whenever I feel like it. Ain't no restrictions. Whereas when you take that money and put it in an investment account, it's going to look a little different. It's going to grow. It may be some fluctuation here and there, but for the most part, if you do a good job, or you got help, it's gonna pay off, and you're not gonna want a whole lot of money in those savings account. You're not even gonna want to open up a savings account. It's okay to have money in a savings account. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that why not let your money grow? Why not let your money grow?
Yeah. Here's something that our listeners have brought up. Okay, what about the taxes? Like, when you got that kind of money, you invest in it, do you get taxed for that money?
Yes. When you pull the money out,
yes.
What happens is at the end of every tax year, they send you a statement. They send you tax documents, and those tax documents should be handed over to your CPA, whoever file your taxes for you, or if you do it yourself, then you would upload it to TurboTax or whatever, or H&R Block, whoever you use, and it will calculate that money that you drew off of those investment accounts. Because I know that's people going to think about that, so that's why it's good to sit on your money at least a year sometime. If you're just pulling out a little bit here and there, no problem, but the bulk of your money, you want to sit on it for some years, or at least that full year before you start nipping on it, right? And just after that year, and then you want to pull a little out or put more in, it helps. It literally helps. It actually makes sure when you actually file your taxes, if you have, depending on what kind of account you have set up, you can actually get you can probably get some breaks, some tax breaks. So
yeah, that's one thing I'm looking at is tax breaks, because government get theirs, but I like to keep a little mind too, especially the money that was already been taxed, and now I'm investing it into something. I don't want to just pull it out. So a lot of times people are like, oh, I made $400. Let me pull this out. I made $1,000. Let me pull it out. No, we can't have that. That's why I said you got to know the times and the moments to do that. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Is that?
You got me? You still hear me, right?
Yeah, I still
okay. So so just basically, the thing is, man, just you can't give up, man. You got to keep it going, and had a discipline, had a restraint to maintain it, and don't worry about if it's growing or not growing. If you keep looking at it and you worried about pulling it, then you don't need to be looking at it too often, right? Yeah. But if you got the discipline where you can look at it daily and keep track and watch Bloomberg News, read your Motley Fool journals and all that stuff, and be okay and not constantly want to pull it because you worried because you've seen a dip, then you're fine. Me personally, I'm able to look at it daily, and not be impacted or affected by that. But it also, depends on, the way you've been developed as a person, as an investor. Who's mentoring you, who's talking to you, who's helping you to develop this sense of discipline, who's helping you develop this patience and this way to view the world, this way to look at multiple streams of income, to look at passive, who's developing you, who's coaching you and training you to do that. Because if you're doing it on your own, just based on seeing an ad or somebody, on Facebook telling you, oh man, I'm investing, and they flash your money and all that, and you decide to go and get involved in investing, then it's not for you, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make terrible mistakes, and you're going to be wondering, like, what did I do wrong? But you need to be around folks that are doing it, that are in it, that's getting results positive out of it, and know what they're doing. So that way you don't find yourself stressed out and like, man, why did I do this? And, Yusef them tripping, talking about I need to invest and, I done lost this money. No, don't blame
Yeah.
Yusef.
Yeah,
Don't
because
blame,
you're using Instagram for your
yeah, don't,
report.
yeah, stay off of Instagram and Facebook trying to figure out how to come up, right? Because that's,
that
gonna lead you
Bitcoin,
down
I get them.
that rabbit's hole. So
Yeah, I get them Bitcoins all the time. Everybody's trying to get on my, hey, I got a private message for you and it's about Bitcoin.
yeah, Forex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you don't know nothing about
Forex
it.
trader. They say that they professional Forex traders, right?
Yeah.
They want to get you. Going to send them $500. Send me 500, man, and I'm gonna flip that into 10 G's next week. You go get 10 G's in your account deposited next week. There's so many scams out there, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting all Forex traders are scammers. I'm just saying it's a lot of scammers out there, y'all. So be safe with that. We approaching that 30-minute break. I just wanted to, take this time to say this is the Yusef Wiley Show, and we're coming at you on this Monday at 3:00 live, and we're doing this every Monday, 3:00. If you don't get a chance to check us out live, you can always go back and download from Spotify or Apple, Amazon, or any of the known podcast apps on your mobile device and check us out. So we're here to support folks, up and coming entrepreneurs, up and coming leaders, and we here to support positive gain and that success mindset. We on that success mindset, man. And if we can get you to that success mindset, come on with it. Come on with it. Join us. Join us. Please join us. That's it. So the proof is in the pudding, as they say, right? The proof is in the pudding. Where we come from. They don't want to know how we met and during a prison ride, right?
Yeah.
That's that juicy stuff, right? We don't always talk about. They like to hear the juicy stuff, the blood and the guts, and we talk about making money right now in a right way. But we tell them that one of them ride stories, a lot of people want to hear that. But in all truth, man, we once upon a time was on the other side of all of this that we're discussing. And now we're here talking today to you, those that are listening, that, man, you could do it. If we done it, you can do it. And, here it is sitting between you. You got myself, Yusef Wiley. I served 22 years in the California Department of Corrections, and Cortez Chandler, serving 24 years. And here it is. We're back in free society, served our time, discharged our parole number, gave it back to him, said, you can have this, and building business, man. That's what we're doing, building business, homeowners, driving nice cars, and taking care of families, man. That's what it's about. Loving on our families, loving on our kids and grandkids, and, loving on, the community. And that's what it's about. And we really want to be engaged with you to show you that you could do exactly just that. Maybe you got a son, maybe you got a nephew, little brother, somebody that's struggling out there in society. It's tough. It's rough out there, not just in LA, all across the streets of the United States, here in America, man, it's not easy to survive, right? But there's folks out there like us that we do care about folks' survival. We do have solutions. We do have remedies. We do have techniques, right, that we use. We have tools to help you get ahead. And it's just all about, and it's not just the stuff we've been talking about today about Robinhood and Acorn and all that. We're talking about practical steps that you could take as a human being to put you on a path to success. And if you want that, then, you need to give us a call. Check us out online. You can hit me up at my website as well at www.andrewiley.com, or you can find us at ywconsultants.com. And we here to support our people, and all people for that matter. I mean, anybody that find themselves marginalized or have good ideas, have good intentions, have that heart and desire to do better, then we're here to help you do better. That's our job. That's what we do. I mean, look, our day job is just that. I mean, helping people. You know, we built a nonprofit organization, a multi-million-dollar nonprofit here in LA County, and it's doing well. We have over 80 employees, and we're hiring from within the community. And that's our day job. We have time now to do podcasts, right, Cortez? we want to bring other folks in, just the same way we brought other members from our community in that currently work for us now across LA and in the Bay Area. So we love y'all. You know, we really just want to see y'all get ahead. You know, we talking about this passive income and e-commerce and trading and the stock market and cryptocurrency stuff, but really it's deeper than that. And it's about the discipline. It's about the training. It's about the state of mind. It's about having mentors and surrounding yourself around people that's going to put you in the right state of mind. That's going to help your state of mind. I mean, there's a story I just like to share, an ancient story that was told, and it was told to me about a man who was poor, and someone noticed him poor on the streets, and he said, you know, I don't want you to be in this state. I want you to have better for yourself, right? And he said, teach me.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then another part to that story is this. You place a man from anywhere, any walk of life, and you put him in a perfume merchant shop. You put him in a shop of a perfume merchant. Eventually, he's going to start smelling like perfume, right? Eventually, he's going to learn how to barter and trade. So it's all about surrounding yourself with people that's going to help take you to the next level. If you're around fleas, you go get fleas. If you're around dogs with fleas, you're going to get fleas, you know? So you just have to understand that and really want better for yourself. You just have to want better for yourself. And if you don't want better for yourself, how do you expect others to want better for you? Exactly. How do we get you there? How do we grab you and put you there? All right.
Like you talk about where we came from, in that environment, that's considered the end of the world. That's, you ain't gonna learn nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. Right. That's how society sees it. But at the same time, we gathered and learned something that we continue to give to the community right now. And absolutely. That was, you know, that's unimaginable to anybody in the regular society, to see somebody come out of them walls and do something different to create better, and not just get it for themselves, but to give it to other people.
Right.
That's what we're about, giving it to other people, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. So that was,
man, it's profound, man. And when you really think about it, it's like, you know, I looked at myself growing up as a youth in LA back in the days when the gang banging got real tough. And I used to ask myself here and there, you know, the switch would get turned on here, and, you know, I would have this thought like, am I supposed to be doing this? Yeah. Am I supposed to be doing this? Is this a career? Is this a lifetime thing? Right. And that's one of the questions we have to ask ourselves. How do you want to be remembered when you go in the ground? What are you going to have to offer the world before you go in the ground? Right.
Yeah.
Is this something that's going to set me up for my future and the future of my family? What I'm doing right now, if everybody was to just, you know, look at themselves right now and say, where I'm at right now, is this going to set me up for my future, for the future of my family? Am I good? Is this going to put me where I need to be? So when I can't work, eyes bad, and ear can't hear, and memory go bad, and all that other stuff start happening. What did you do before it got to that? How did you set that up? Right?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That's deep. That's deep.
So, I mean, it's a lot for us we could sit here and talk all day long. And, I'm hoping if we do still have folks that's listening that, hey, what are your thoughts about this subject today?
I believe in just us talking about investment, something that we've, as our community, has never really invested or invested in other things that they can't see or don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
We have to keep educating. We have to, I mean, when you're teaching somebody, you're learning yourself. So I learned a lot just from this conversation and how we can adapt to certain situations and our communities, how we're going to build them, and we talk about somebody taking our communities, but at the same time, what did we invest into our communities? So we have to look at both sides of that.
Yeah, you can't be mad at the Asian cultures and the Mexican, American, Guatemalan, cultures, these different cultures that's come to America and made it better for themselves. Don't be looking at them mad and hating on them because you had every opportunity that they did. Now, don't get me wrong, systemic racism exists in America, right? All of the barriers that we know that's there are there, but look how many years of experience we have. We already been here. We've had time to get through that. We've had time to understand these dilemmas that we found ourselves in as a people in this country. We know how America has treated us. We know the history. So we've had a lot of time to work through those issues around systemic racism, around the barriers that have been placed in front of us as a people, as a culture. So we should be doing better. And we're living examples of that better. You and I, bro.
Yeah.
We're living examples of that better and what that better looks like. Someone that was at the bottom of the barrel, if you want to describe us that way, in the pits of prison in California. And now, committing crimes with felonies. We had more odds against us than the average person. The average person that's struggling to get ahead in life, we use drugs too. We've used alcohol. We've done all those things. We had it stacked high against us. So there's really, the trauma and all that stuff. We've been through all of that. But we have to start somewhere healing. We have to start somewhere building bridges. We have to start somewhere re-educating ourselves. We have to start somewhere adopting the mentors and surrounding ourselves around people with the mindsets that we need to take us to the next level. So, we ask you to join our network, join the network, get with this. And it's easy. Just go online. Like I said, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or go to our websites, follow us, send us messages, see how we can help you. And, we go from there. That's how it's done, man. So.
Yeah, you touched on a lot of points today. You on fire, boy. You be dropping them dimes.
I'm actually, man, I'm sober right now. Honestly, usually I exude a lot more energy, but I'm just really sober right now because, we winding down this year and a lot of things are happening out there, man. It's kind of got me in a reflective state of mind of, there is hope for us as a people. And even in spite of things that are happening, with the rappers that's been killed recently, Dolph and now Slim 400. And, I'm like, it's a lot of going on. And it's a lot of it is with us, with our folks. And, I'm just wondering, we really have to go out there and get after it. And as a people, and take the advice, take the guidance that we need. And some of these rappers need it too. Some of these entertainers need it. And even though they on social media, they look good, they look like they don't have any problems, because they have wealth or what looks like wealth. But at the end of the day, do they understand financial management? Do they understand, how to protect themselves from the IRS? These things are still happening to our folks. We just heard recently, who was that? Chris Tucker being scrutinized by the IRS, right? So these things is deep, and our people are not surrounding themselves with the right people to avoid these problems, and
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think, man? I mean, it's a lot going on,
Yeah,
honestly.
I feel you. I look at what you said about surrounding ourselves with right people. You
Mhm.
know, every neighborhood I ever been in, and I knew, or I've met people from prison, there's always a Pookie. Okay. And I ain't just trying to be funny, but there's always a Pookie. So if you stay with Pookie, you hang out with Pookie, you're gonna become Pookie.
Mm.
So you might be a Pookie and you don't even know it.
Mm.
Because you've been hanging around Pookie all this time, you take on his traits. So I always try to surround myself by positive people, like people that we work with, people that we deal with. It's always positive. So whatever input we want to give to our community, we have to have that same attributes to give back to the community. So if we
Mm.
take something in, I'm not going to give you the garbage. That's why I said, like when you're talking about trading in trust, you said this at the beginning, trust is key. And a lot of
Mhm.
times we won't invest in something, we won't apply ourselves to something because we don't trust it. And one
Right.
thing about it, you have to be able to trust that the environment, the situation. Where we came from, we're not supposed to be here. I always remind myself of that every day. I'm not supposed to be here by their laws, by their
Mhm.
rules, but I'm here
Mhm.
because we broke the chain and broke the rules that they had, and we set our own rules and our own guidelines to be better people. And to invest in our own selves. And when we invest in ourselves, like you said, we're investing into our family, into our communities.
Mhm.
When they always talk about black dollars, okay, we spend a lot of black dollars, but where are the black dollars going?
Right.
That's what we have to understand. Where is the black dollar going? Once we get the black dollar, what are we doing with it? So I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Man, shoot. I like that. No, actually, I like how you started it about the trust, man. Digging into that. Why don't our people trust? That's something to really look at and dig into. Why don't our people trust? And I mentioned earlier some of the reasons why we don't trust, and because the way we've been treated, over these centuries that we've been here. And it's something that's passed down, not just through people telling us stories, but we are impacted through our genetics, in some way. We just mentioned this on Straight Talk on Point, how genetics, we're passing this disease of mistrust and trauma through our family. And then the way we're manifesting much of this in our household, the way we raise our children, the way we raise them to trust or distrust, right? These things are impactful. What our kids see, what our kids hear us say about the system, about trusting folks, about money, about how to save, how to make money. All this stuff is coming into their space, and they're wrestling with how they're supposed to internalize it and use it to their best interests. And if they don't use it right, it's on us, because that's where they received it, right? But if we were properly training them how to vet, right? How to vet people, how to vet, products, how to vet ideas, right? This is what we should be doing and teaching them. Like, say our son come to us, hey, little Jamal, what's going on? I want to learn how to do this or do that, or how to become, build a computer, or how to join this group or this company. Okay, little Jamal, we gonna study that. We gonna look into this company, or teach them how to vet. When they're gonna invest in something or get involved, show them how to vet that thing that they're interested in, right? And if we show them how to vet it to see if it's good, and I can give you simple stuff that I do, like with mine, like when Malik, for example, if he asks me something and he like, hey, I want this, even if it's something as simple as a keyboard that he want to use for gaming, right? Did you check out the company? You know, is it a good company? What's their reviews? What kind of reviews do they get? You know, how many, what's the hertz, megahertz, whatever, all that kind of stuff. I asked them those questions before you just see something that's flashy and it got your attention, you want to buy it, vet it. So the same way we vet products and everything else, when we about to get involved, if it's an idea, vet the idea. It's a group you want to join. They seem like they got some good stuff going on. They're a group that's going to be doing crypto. And they already making, it's about 10 of them and they already making money. Okay, vet that group. Vet the company that they claim that they built or that they work for. Vet the leader. Find out as much as you can about that leader, right? This is what we should be teaching our children. And then they'll be able to avoid a lot of the pitfalls and mistakes that we've made growing up.
Yeah,
it's a process. Everything has a process. And we have to stop skipping and jumping over the process. See something flash, gimme, and grab. No. See something, interesting. Let me investigate. We have to change we need a totally a shift, in our thinking, in the way we process information. All of that has to be done. And this is a part of the discipline. This is a part of the training that we've been talking about. And if you see that shift, once that shift happens, it's going to happen in everything. You'll see it happening in everything. Like if it's too good to be true, remember that? What's
9 times out of 10?
Right. It's too good to be true, right?
It's too good to be true.
So, I mean, we have to teach them these things. And if we're not, we're failing. We're failing them. So, and it's all a part of what we're talking about today. It's all a part about what we're trying to get, where we're trying to go. And the best time is now. It ain't about waiting. The best time is actually now. And I mean, it goes deep, man. It even goes into as far as our relationships. The impact that our relationships have on our decision making, whether or not we're going to invest in this or invest in that, or whether or not I want to join this group or that group, or become a millionaire with this team of folks or that team of relationships have a major play in that. And I'm talking right now to us adult that have partners. We in relationships and we have a partner that's telling us, no, I don't trust that. Don't do it. And it creates a friction and they mad because you took some of the money to do this or do that. Like I invest in a magic, you know what I'm saying? The water, the machine, right? And I'll drink the water. It's really what it said, it does what it said it's going to do, right? And but other people, oh, it's too much money and this and that. But the benefits of not only for you, health, then wealth, and the residual income that come as a result of buying a machine and then others buying the machine and things of that nature. Not a pyramid scheme, it's another structure, which I'm not going to get into right now. But that's just one area that I could show you. Many of the people that I've talked to about Enagic, the main reason that they didn't choose to join the group or join the network of Enagic, because their relationships. Somebody within that partnership of that relationship said no, or we can't afford it, or not sure about it. Yeah. But this product has been in, we talking about vetting. It's been vetted. It's definitely been vetted. It took me 3 years. It took me 3 years before I went full-fledged. Yeah. But that's how long it took me to vet it, because I had other things going on. But these are the type of things that I'm talking about. Again, another multiple streams of income. and
Yes.
magic, another stream of income and health. Because, you drink it, and it's nothing like no other water that you can drink. And I don't have to go buy bottles of water and spend hundreds of dollars a month on buying water from, Vons and Albertsons.
Yes,
And it's
the
actually
advantage.
good.
It's good. It's real good.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't ever, what's crazy about it? I don't have to drink it cold either. It's
Yeah.
really good. You don't even have to drink it cold. But that's another subject, right? But we were talking about multiple streams of
That's
income,
one
right?
of them. Yep.
And that's another one. So, I mean, that's what it's about, because at the end of the day, it's about taking care of the home front, taking care of the family, leaving a legacy behind for them, so that when you're long gone, they have something to fall back on. They ain't doing a GoFundMe or Facebook, standing out on the corner at Walmart asking for money for your funeral, to bury you, right?
Yeah.
So, we need to understand that. And if we understand that, and appreciate what's being said here today, drop us a line. We have a YouTube channel, also Instagram, Facebook, Yusef-Andre Wiley, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And on Spotify, you could download the Yusef Wiley Show and follow us there as well. So, this is my boy right here, Cortez Challer, my VP. We actually did time together. We was up in there together, wearing state blues, walking around a prison yard, right? And now we hiring folks to work for us. So, I mean, that's a story in it of itself. So obviously we got something to offer, right? We got something to offer, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So felonies with felonies. And I mean, we have something to offer, obviously, if we've done this, if we've gotten this far. So, you just have to vet us. So I wouldn't tell you to vet others and other things and ideas without asking you to vet us. So vet us as well. So, and we go from there. We running up on these 5 minutes for our listeners. We appreciate y'all being here again for Yusef Wiley Show, and share with your family and friends and loved ones, relatives, whoever, and co-workers, fellow entrepreneurs, folks that are out there that's trying to ditch the 9 to 5 and get out there and do it their way and live their best life. We have a lot to say. We have a lot to say about all of that, all about developing that success mindset. And, this is one of those days. It's a Monday. I'm trying to get in the gear. I figure by Friday, straight talk on point, I'm gonna be in full swing, right?
Fired up.
Full blast, right? So we just trying to drop a few gems here and there about this subject. It's not too late. It's, get in. It's the best time is now. And you won't regret it. You won't regret it. You need mentors. You need life coaches. Both Cortez and I are life coaches and mentors, and we help folks all the time. And we're available to you at your leisure. So feel free to give us a line. You can also reach me by email at yusefandre@me.com. That's YUSEF Andre ANDRE @me.com. So that's it, man. You got any last words?
And if this was a cup, I'd be all the way full. You filled me up with
Man,
this.
I only gave a little bit today, man.
You still, but every time you get me, I don't be starving. I don't be thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff, we just got to take it to heart, man. And, I'm hoping that this environment, I'll just tell our listeners this, those that are listening, we have an office here in Lancaster, California, and we would love for you to come and spend some time with us here. Also, we doing workshops here and a lot of entrepreneur training and, leadership building here on site at our location here in Lancaster. So look us up and you'll find us here as well. If you want direct information about our location, you can reach out to me or Cortez directly. You can find Cortez as well at Cortez M Chandler on Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
And I don't know, you got Twitter too, right, bro?
Yeah, same thing.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, we appreciate the time that we had with y'all today. And we definitely want to keep it going, and give us some comments, give you your thoughts. And you can also pick up my autobiography on Amazon. You can find it. It's never too if I knew then, it's never too late to change. And this is my autobiography, so check it out. It's if I knew then. If I knew then what I know now, what? That gives you an idea what this is about. So check it out on Amazon and pick you up a copy and show some love.
The key thing I live by is never too late to change.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what your structure was and how you carry your life, it's never too late to change. Understand that, people.
Never too late, because people like to say, I'm getting too old, and I'm an old, can't teach a dog, an old dog, new tricks, all that stuff, man. It's never too late to change. You remember that. So
yeah,
that's what we believe in, and that's what we live by. So me and Cortez signing off today, the Yusef-Wally Show. Show some love next week at Monday, same time.
Peace.
Peace.